I'm going to show you how to use the Euro Cuisine yogurt maker. This is what it looks like. I bought this a couple years ago, and this is the kind that does not have the timer with it. It has 7 little jars here that hold 6 ounces each. And this is what the yogurt looks like after it's been refrigerated for a couple days. This is the very last one that I have. And it comes out just like this. Okay, and then I usually just add a little bit of xylitol and some vanilla, and you have delicious vanilla tasting yogurt, fresh. So let's get started. What we need first is 42 ounces of whole milk, works best, and half a cup of yogurt, just plain yogurt like this, or a little starter mix. So we take the milk right here, and we're going to measure out 42 ounces, which is 4 cups, is 32 ounces. You don't need to get me anymore. And there's 10 ounces right there. Okay. Now we're going to pour it in a big pot, like a stainless steel pot. Here's your 32 and here's your 10. Put it on medium heat so that it doesn't burn. Otherwise, it's very hard to get off the burnt milk on the bottom. So you're going to stir it. You don't need to stir too much in the beginning, but it'll take about 10 or 15 minutes to come to a very soft boil or maybe a simmer. You want it to get up to 188 degrees or 205. I have a thermometer right here, a candy thermometer, and I just put it in there. Or you can use an instant read thermometer and then keep testing it. So we'll come back in about 15 minutes. Now that it's starting to boil like this, I'm going to turn up the heat just a tiny bit to medium-high. So that it'll start rising up the sides of the pan a little bit. Still not quite there yet. You want it to come to a little more of a boil. As you can see, it's right about 200 degrees. But the most important thing is that it comes to a boil, not the temperature, because if you don't have a thermometer, you can still do this. Okay, here's where you want to be, where it's starting to foam up the sides of the pot. So I'm going to turn off the burner and take it off the heat. And you see it goes right back down. That's perfect. So now what we do is we're just going to let it sit until it reaches a room temperature, anywhere from 95 to 110 degrees. Or if you put a clean finger in and you can keep it in there for about a minute, that's about the right temperature, or something that you would give to a baby. Okay, now that it's cooled down, I have washed my finger, and you can put it in there nice and warm. It's perfect. And if you get a little skim on the top after stirring it, you can just stir it in, or you could take it out and put it on this little on a dish. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our yogurt, about a half a cup. And you can skim off some of the whey on the top if it's runny. You don't need that. I like to put it in a 4-quart or a 4-cup measuring cup. Gives you more room. And then you're going to just pour some of the milk in here. And a good whisk is very important to get it all nice and smooth. So I'm just whisking it until it's completely smooth and there's no more lumps. Then I'm going to pour it back in. And if you have your starter, you can use that instead. And then I'm going to whisk this together so it's completely stirred together. Okay, that's done. Now I'll pour it back. It's easier for me to pour in the small measuring cup, so I'm going to pour a little bit at a time in this 2-quart or 2-cup measuring cup. And we come over here. We're just going to turn this on. It's plugged in. The little light goes on there. We take all the lids off. And we fill up our jars. So here's the clear cover that we put on top without the lids, and you can set it for the time that you want with this little mark right here. So if it's 12 o'clock, I'm going to set it for 6 hours for whole milk, and then 7 hours later, or at 7 o'clock or 7 hours for 2%, and then maybe 8 hours for skim. Or it can go a little bit longer if you like. So I'm going to put it for 6 o'clock since it's noon now. And then when you take it out, be careful not to let the condensed water under the lid drip into the yogurt. But I'll show you that in about 6 hours or so. Or I just set my alarm on my phone to 6 hours later and start. So, here's your yogurt, and we'll be back in about 6 to 8 hours. Thanks for watching. Okay, it's been 6 hours, so I'm going to take out the first one, lift the lid. Be careful not to get the condensation in there. I'm going to take one out, put the lid on, mark this at 6 hours. And then I'm going to dry the lid. Put it back on and come back 7 hours. And I'm going to put this in the refrigerator right now. I'll be back in 1 hour. Okay, it's an hour later, which is a total of 7 hours. I'm going to take out the next one and mark 7 on the lid. And take out this one. And this is what it looks like. Put this in the refrigerator. And see you back in an hour. Okay, here we are after 8 hours. This is what it looks like. So, into the refrigerator it goes. I'm going to keep these in overnight, and then we'll see how they all look. I might keep these in another couple hours or so. We'll see. This is what it looks like after 9 hours. Okay, so these need to be refrigerated for at least 3 hours, but I'm going to keep everything in the refrigerator overnight, and then see what it looks like in the morning. Okay, I'm back. Now my yogurt has been sitting in the refrigerator overnight, and each cap represents the number of hours it was left in the Euro Cuisine. So this first jar right here has been in there for 6 hours, and this is what the consistency looks like. The longer you keep it in the refrigerator, the more solid it is. Okay, that's 6 hours. Here's 7 hours. Almost feels about the same. All right, here's 8 hours. Maybe slightly harder, but not too much of a difference. Here's 9 hours. It's a very nice consistency. And then this was 11 hours. So I would say pretty much anywhere from 7 to 11 hours is good. And so I'd like to rate the Euro Cuisine, and my choice would be, for $30, it's a good buy. And the next model up is $40, and it has a timer that you can set, and it'll turn off at a certain number of hours. The next model up is $50, and it has 2 quarts. And it's not the little jars, it's one big jar, and then that way you can just put the whole thing in the refrigerator when you want to, and scoop it out as you wish, and add any kind of fruit or sugar in it that you like. So I know that that one's $50 because I bought one for my daughter for her birthday, so surprise. And if you want to make Greek yogurt out of it, you just the 2-quart one does come with a bag, and you know, you can use a dishcloth or you can use the bag it comes in, and you just put your yogurt in there and hang it up and let all the whey drip out. And so anyway, I'd recommend it. I think it's a good product. Not getting paid or anything for it. I just thought I'd let you all know in case you're thinking about buying it. So thanks for watching. See you next time.